In the last 12 months, look, I think it's just got a lot tougher for mining companies over the last 12 months. I would say the landscape started changing a couple of years ago, and private equity now is something that is very relevant in the space because we are an alternate form of financing. While most good projects will get financed in some form or other, the equity markets are a lot more hesitant these days to get into anything new. So what we're finding is that the deal risk that we used to have to contend with is no longer a big issue for us. So we're able to get into projects at better valuations, essentially. No, there was a huge amount of money poured into the mining space, and if you had to work out how much capital would be required to develop every single exploration project that had developed a resource, there just simply isn't enough money, not only in the equity markets, but certainly not in the private equity side of things. So the funding gap is going to remain. A lot of projects will actually end up not making it in one form or another. But the good news is that if you do have a quality project, then there's a very good chance that that's going to get funded. We looked very carefully at the fundamentals of the resource, the project itself. Where is it located? What is the political risk? What is the geology like? What is the grade? What is the metallurgical aspects? How does this all translate into a workable mine, and at what price will they be producing their product? That for us is key. If all of our risk matrix is taken into account, and the result is a project that sits within the lowest cost quartile, and we can be fairly confident that that is something that is a likely outcome, then there's a good chance we're going to have a very close look at it. It's a much better time to be buying mining stocks than it was a year ago, 2 years ago. There's no doubt about that. But you have to be very careful which mining stocks you get into, because if you're entering into the smaller end of town and you're backing a project that isn't what I would describe robust, then you could still have a bit more pain to go through. And exploration companies specifically require capital markets to fund themselves, and if the capital markets are closed, then they're not going to go anywhere. So I would say that I'm a much happier buyer at this point in the cycle, but by no means is everything on an equal playing field. There are some dogs out there, and there are some wonderful projects out there. So we're just focusing on trying to get into the wonderful projects. Miners really need to be presenting themselves with the capabilities that they can bring with a project. Our focus is, clearly the management team is very important to us. Our focus is on the project though, so we really want them to be bringing us good projects. Now, you get a collection of people with the same interests, all in the same room. So it's really good to meet new people, and also old friends that are still in the industry. So I find that, for me, the most rewarding part of the conference.